So we all have dreams and aspirations in life, but for some reason, many of us fail to reach our full potential. And as we get older, we tend to look back and have regrets and say, "Man, if I could have did certain things differently, life would be so much different." And I'm not sure how old you are. Maybe you're in your 20s and you're probably saying, "You know, I have all the time in the world." But please understand that, man, those 30s and 40s come very quick, and by the time you know it, you look back and like, "Wow, like where did time go?" And even if you're someone that's in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, and you're probably thinking, you know, "Oh man, I don't have time," just understand that, like, obviously we don't know what life brings tomorrow, but you know, people are living longer, and you still have time to like make the changes that you want so that you can live the life that you want. So that's why in this video I'm gonna share with you 10 things stopping you from living the life you were meant to live. And if you're someone that's still trying to reach certain goals and trying to obtain the life that you want to live, like these 10 things that I'm gonna list off, you have to find a way to overcome them, right? You have to overcome these obstacles and how to get through those barriers and get through that resistance so that you can live the life that you were meant to live. So let's start off with the first one, which is fear and self-doubt. Now, obviously, it's something we all deal with, right? Fear, whether it's through trauma or just maybe just fear of the unknown, right? We tend to, when we want to do something, when we want to take certain action, we conjure up like different outcomes of what we want, right? We say, "All right, man, I want to go talk to this person," but then you would think of the most negative things in our mind and say, "You know what, maybe it might not work out," and then that stops us from actually taking actions for something that could be actually good for us. So we had to figure out how to get out, how to overcome that fear and self-doubt and think of like positive things, how we can overcome them and understand that like, hey, this could be a game changer for getting me where I want to be in life. So being able to overcome that fear and self-doubt is a very important thing, because it's something that we deal with every day, whether it's you progressing through your job, or maybe it's trying to get around the right people, or just maybe taking action that's going to help better your life. So making sure you overcome that obstacle of fear and self-doubt is going to be an important thing for living that life that you want to live. Number 2, lack of skills, right? If you're someone that's that wants to live that life, you're gonna, especially when it comes to like making money, like building wealth long term, you're gonna have to acquire skills. You can't be a person that just thinks, "Man, I exist and I deserve X, Y, Z." No, like if you're someone that possesses many skills, you're gonna have a lot of opportunities presented to you. So if you're someone that doesn't have any skills, then it's important to say, "All right, what skills can I develop that's gonna help me build wealth long term?" I remember when I first started my YouTube page, I didn't like getting in front of a camera, but I knew that being able to speak in front of a camera and being able to bring my thoughts out to people is a very important skill that's gonna help me like get to where I want to be in terms of building success. So if you're someone that wants to be successful or want to build wealth long term, you're gonna have to figure out ways to acquire skills that's gonna help you get to where you want to be long term. So making sure, don't be this person that's just like, I deserve things because I'm just here. You have to acquire skills that's gonna bring value to other people. So that should be something that whether it's through sales, marketing, acquire skills that are going to be used today and that can be used long term. So making sure you acquire those skills is going to be a very important key factor to make sure that you're living the life that you want to live. Number 3, family and social expectations, right? Now this is something for a lot of us we all deal with, right? Like especially growing up, there's an expectation that is expected of you from friends and family, and like we all want to meet those expectations, and that's a lot of pressure on us. Even if those expectations are not what we want to do, it's not what we're passionate about, and we understand like friends and family want what's best for you, but sometimes that's not where you want to be, right? Like for example, college, right? Everyone is not meant to go to college, but that's an expectation that is passed down for us from generation to generation. Like families want our children to go to college, get an education, which is nothing wrong with that. But as we can see, like college isn't for everyone, and college isn't always the path to success. That's something we've been conditioned to believe. But we live in a technological age where there are many ways to educate yourself in terms of building that success. And I think for a lot of people, it's just trying to find different ways and trying to find creative ways to build our own success, and then not having to feel that pressure of expectations from our friends and family, and saying, you know what, maybe I understand that your friends and family want what's best for you, but maybe that's not always the best thing for you. You take what they have to say, and obviously you take it as guidance, and you listen and see and listen to their opinions, but then ultimately it's going to come down to your decision. So I think that for a lot of people, that can be a big barrier for living the life that you want to be, just being able to overcome that pressure of living up to family expectations. Even though they want what's best for you, it may not always be what's best for you. Number 4, procrastination, right? Look, if you're for someone that wants to be successful, you want to live the life that you're meant to live, then you got to be able to take action. I know we all tend to be like, you know what, we'll wait on that. You know, I'll do that later. No, you got to be a person that's like, you know, all right, if I'm going to be where I want to be, I have to make sure I'm taking action. I'm not waiting. I'm not hesitating. If it's something I want, I make sure I take the initiative to go get that, right? For a lot of us, it's something we all deal with because we all feel like we have all the time in the world, but we have to create a sense of urgency when it comes to acquiring the things that we want in life, and say, you know what, I don't have time. Like, you know what, I got to make sure, like, you know what, if I want something and I want to be able to have an impact on this world, I need to start taking action and taking that initiative. And I know for a lot of people that's a lot of pressure, right? To be like, put all that pressure on one person. But sometimes when you want to be great, you want to do things that people haven't done, you have to start taking action. And procrastination can be a huge part of that process of delaying or inhibiting you from being where you want to be. So if you're someone that procrastinates a lot, you want to be able to develop a habit where you say, you know what, when there's something I want, I have to start taking action. I have to take action quick. All right. So making sure we overcome this procrastination issue is something that we all deal with. So if you're someone that wants to to live a life that you're meant to live, then being able to overcome that obstacle, procrastination, is going to be a big part of that. Number 5, negative influences. Like, if you're going to be successful, then you got to have the right people around you, right? If you're someone that's trying to get in shape, right, then it helps to be around people that are in shape, right? If you're someone that people that are building wealth, then you want to be around people. If you're someone that wants to build wealth, then you have to be around people that are building wealth, right? So you want to make sure you're around the right people. You don't want to be around people that are bringing you down. Obviously, you want having negative thoughts that are doing opposite of what you want to do. So it's important to make sure you surround yourself with the right people, because if you, like they say, you're the average of the 5 people that you're hanging around with, right? So if you're someone that's looking for success, if you're looking for people that are doing the things that are helping you become a better person, you have to be around those people, right? You can't be around people that are gonna bring you back, that's gonna hold you back and keep you from being where you want to be. And sometimes, like, when it comes to friends, like sometimes you'll lose a few friends just because they're not on the same wavelength as you, they're not on the same path, and not to say that you got to stop being friends with them, but maybe you just have to spend less time with them, and that's a hard thing to do. But if you're someone that wants to have a life that's just not too many people live, or you want to live a life that a lot of people strive for, then you're gonna have to make changes in terms of who you're around. Number 6, focusing on short-term gratification. This is a problem that a lot of people have, right? They want everything now. We live in a digital age where we receive all our information right away. So people have a tendency to say, hey, when it comes to wealth building, when it comes to being successful, I want it now. When in reality, it takes time, right? It takes time to be successful. It's a grind. You got to go through your hours of sacrifice. You got to go through your hours of just a struggle, resistance, friction, whatever it is. You have to go through that process. And for a lot of people, they want it now. And I think that type of mindset stops a lot of people from actually progressing and actually reaching their goals. So having a long-term mindset, even though it's not the most most fun thing, you have to have a mindset, right? Having that short-term gratification is not the way to go. Yes, there's some people that have their overnight successes, but most people take the long route to where they want to go. So being able to focus on long-term instead of that short-term is going to be a key factor in living the life that you were meant to live. Number 7, the inability to adapt, right? Like, the world is always changing, right? And for a lot of people, I know when it comes to change, people say, I don't like the way this change happened. I don't like this. I don't like that. But if you're someone that's going to be successful, you're going to have to adapt to change, because the world is always changing, right? You have to adapt. Like, the world doesn't revolve around you. People change, technology changes, everything changes, and you have to be able to adapt to that, right? Because if you're someone that's just going to be stuck in a certain way and you don't evolve, it's going to be hard for you to find success in the time that we're living in. So being able to adapt and make sure that you can adapt to whatever change that's happening around you is going to be a great skill to have in terms of finding success. So make sure you're someone that has that ability to adapt and make sure that you understand how things are changing around you. Number 8, lack of persistence. All right. Now look at, for a lot of people, like I remember we were doing affiliate marketing. It was a grind. Like every day I was writing articles to bring traffic to my website, and eventually you reach that breakout point where the traffic comes. But for a lot of people, one big part for why people fail when it comes to that is they're just not persistent enough. They get to a point where they're like, all right, 50 articles, I'm 100 articles in, and I'm not seeing any results. When maybe it was that 101 article that's going to help give you that breakthrough. So you have to be persistent, because you never know when that breakthrough happens. And if you're going to live that life you want to live, you have to be persistent. It's going to be hard. There's no time frame for when success happens. Everyone's path is different. But the one thing that I would always recommend or push people to go is just make sure you're persistent. Keep going. Don't quit. As hard as it is going to be, you have to keep pushing through, because you never know when is your breakthrough. So making sure you're persistent and consistent is going to be very key to living that life that you want to live. Number 9, comparing yourself to others. And this is a struggle for a lot of people, right? You look at people that are successful and you're like, man, like, what did that person do? Like, I want to be there. Even for myself, when it comes to YouTube, I look at other people's YouTube channel. I'm like, damn, like, how the hell they get so good at it? And it's hard, because you get discouraged sometimes, and like, man, like, how come I'm not there? And you understand that, like, everyone starts at certain points in life, right? Like, everyone started from the grind. Not everybody was skyrocketed right away. They put in the work, they put in the grind. And you always have to keep that in the back of your mind. Like, everybody didn't just start off at this finished product, right? They started off at one point where it was a struggle, it was a grind, and then eventually they became the product that they've become, right? So it's something that you have to keep in mind. Like, stop comparing yourself to others, because it can be very discouraging to see, like, why you're not at that level, and understand that it does take time. So like I said, you got to have that patience, and to make sure that just like, all right, we all have different time frames, and eventually you will get there as long as you put in the work. Finally, number 10, making sure you not taking care of your health, right? Like, all the success doesn't matter if you're not taking care of your health, right? Like, if you have all this money, all the success, if you're struggling to breathe and you got all different type of ailments, it doesn't really matter if you're not taking care of your health. So making sure that you're exercising, making sure you're getting sleep, making sure you're drinking water, making sure you're eating healthy. These are very key components to making sure that you're living that life that you want to live. Because obviously, like I said, it takes time to be successful, right? So if you're someone that's going to reach success at your 40s or 50s, you want to be able to at least enjoy that, right? You want to be on a bed, like, always tired and sick, seeing a doctor, where you can't get to enjoy that success. So out of all the things that I've listed today, making sure you take care of your health is obviously going to be very important, so that you can at least enjoy the life you were meant to live and prosper. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you got any comments or questions, make sure you leave it down below. Hit the like button and share. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe, right? So you guys take care and have a good one. Later.